Avengers! Assemble.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the Avengers here, guys, and welcome back to another Marvel Feature Fight video. So in the last video, we were actually using a different mic. We were testing out a new mic. We went back to the old one because I think this one is a little better quality for now. We're going to try and get our hands on a new mic, but yeah, just so you guys are aware. Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. We're going to be talking about the patch details for the upcoming update that is coming in a couple hours, maybe less, depending when this gets posted. But obviously, I'm talking about for the Loki mid-month update. Comes out 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, which is in 4 hours from when I'm recording this. So we're finally sort of caught up here with videos. We got the sneak peeks done. We're here with the patch details. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the Loki stuff tomorrow. And then we're also going to start on the sort of Transcendent Selector guide, uniform guide, all that stuff that you guys have been wanting. And a couple others. But anyways, without further ado, let's dive straight on into it. I am still sick, by the way, so just so you're aware. Greetings, agents. This is TM Fragment of Marvel Feature Fight. Meet the hero who keeps challenging to solve the problem with the timeline. Loki has gained the powerful authority to deal with time with his new uniform and Tier 4 advancement. And the new superhero who fights for freedom and revenge, Sylvie, who's similar to but different from Loki, has been added. Agents, check out the new skills and powers of the updated heroes by downloading the 1121 patch. So yeah, what would just be a patch, rolling patch? It'll just basically download as you try to log in. No need to go into the App Store or anything. So first of all, let's start it off with Sylvie. She will be a universal superhero, alien, female type character. The way to get her is going to be from the daily sub bios, but during Black Friday, the Black Friday event, there will be a token shop where you can get her for free, which we'll go over before the end of this video. So her leadership is going to be to all allies, increase mind resist by 50%. A little lackluster there. I think it could have been cool if they did something to where it buffed Loki. I think that would have been pretty sweet and would have gave her a pretty good chance to be used a lot. But unfortunately, I think they kind of dropped the ball there, but it is what it is. Her Tier 2 passive is going to have increased guaranteed crit rate and increased skill damage. Her passive is going to have super armor and decreased basic damage received. On her first skill, it's going to be called Mischief Stab. It's going to have a 7-second cooldown. It's going to applying to enemies is going to be bleed, stun, and energy damage. On her second skill, it's going to be called Asgard Dagger Toss. It's going to have a 7-second cooldown as well. It's going to have bleed and some more energy damage. On her third skill here, it's going to be called Timeline Bomb, which is pretty interesting. The cooldown is going to be 15 seconds. Applying to enemies is going to be Snare, Mind Controlled, and Incapacitation. Applying to yourself is going to be a 30% heal, which is nice, and increase all basic attack and some energy damage. Her fourth skill, Diagonal Slash, is going to be a 15-second cooldown. Applying to enemies is going to be Bleed, Mind Control, Incapacitation, and Paralysis. Applying to herself, she's going to have 50% chance to penetrate, which is nice. Invincible, removing all debuffs for 3 seconds, and some energy damage and increased basic damage. Then last but not least here, her fifth skill is going to be called Timeline Duo. I'm assuming Loki might come in on this skill just because it's called Duo. It's going to be on a 15-second cooldown. Applying to enemies is going to be Burn and Stun. And applying to herself is going to be a 100% chance to grant all damage immunity and some energy damage. So overall, she looks good. Like, she doesn't look awful, but she doesn't look meta for anything. I think, like I said, if they had made one of her passives or her leadership towards Loki, she could have been a good Loki support, but because they didn't do that, I don't really see what she's going to be used for. Because she can't go to level 80, she's not going to have any value in PvE, and because she has no PvP abilities, she's also not going to have value there. So yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Plus, she's not going to have a uniform, so that makes things even harder for her. Loki, on the other hand, will be on sale. Both of these will be on sale, by the way. Hers isn't a uniform, my bad. His will be on sale 50% off. All uniforms are 50% off right now, so we're going to try and get you out a video on the best uniforms to select as soon as possible. because there are only, I think, about a week left on that. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that. But it's something like that, and you definitely need to take advantage of it. So I'll try and have a video out on that tomorrow. His uniform effect here, he's going to have increased chain hit and ignore target dodge. On his tier 2 passive, he's going to have increased guaranteed crit rate and increased skill damage. Applying himself is going to be a 30% increase of energy attack and some decreased basic damage attack. His first skill here is going to be called Double Sword Control. It's going to be on a 9-second cooldown. It's going to have paralysis, which is important, and energy damage. His second skill is going to be called Teleportation Attack. It's going to have 11-second cooldown. It's going to have Silence, Fracture, and energy damage. His third skill here is going to be called Timeline Team Up. It's going to have a 16-second cooldown. It's going to have Stun and Capacitation to applying to enemies. Applying to himself, he's going to have a 20% heal. He's going to have 100% chance to grant all damage immunity and some more energy attack, of course. On his fourth skill, it's going to be called Loki Shadow, which is pretty cool. It's going to have a 17-second cooldown. It's going to have a bleed. It's going to decrease recovery rate by 50%, applying to the enemies. Silence. Then applying to himself is going to be increased basic damage and some energy damage. Then his fifth skill, the most important named skill here, I would say, is called God of Stories, of which, of course, if you don't know, spoilers for Loki Season 2, that is what they are calling him at the very end of the show when he becomes the ultimate Loki god and is holding all the multiverses. So I think that's a hint to us that we will be either A, getting the uniform later on, or B, with this fifth skill, he's going to you're going to see him change into that uniform, which would be pretty cool. It's going to have Burn, Snare, Paralysis, and decrease all basic defense. It's going to have Invincible and increase all basic attack and some more energy attack on an 18-second cooldown. So overall, he looks good for ABX and ABL. He looks great as always. He's always been a great ABX ABL character since his last uniform, and it looks like that's not changing at all here. Obviously, he stays a universal supervillain, which is good because if he became a hero, then he'd be directly competing with people like Thor. So I'm glad he stays a supervillain to give him his own category here that he can dominate in. And of course, he has basically everything an ABX and ABL character needs. He has paralysis, he has stun, he has burn, he has bleed, he has all of them except for shock, which is interesting because if you think about it, if you make Thor his tier 4 select, right, then Thor can come in and give you the shock, and then you have literally every single cancelable ABX and ABL thing you need with Loki, which is insane if you think about it. A character can literally have every single cancel, meaning if there wasn't restrictions, he'd be the go-to for pretty much every single day, as long as he is also a very high DPS character. So I'm hoping that's the case. I can't wait to tier 4 him. I'm definitely going to do that. And I can't wait to see what he can do in ABX and ABL. It's going to be very interesting. So Loki is now available for tier 4 advancement, of course. His tier 4 striker skill, I gotta say, guys, pretty spicy. Now I know I'm a little biased because I'm excited to tier 4 him, but it's pretty nice. So it has an increased all basic attack by 40%, which is pretty generic, not bad. But the thing that makes it interesting is he creates 8 misdirections. So you get 8 Loki clones, and every time one of them is used, when they're hit, it increases his all basic attack accumulatively by 7.5%, meaning it can stack up. So all 8 of them, if you sort of time like 7.5 plus 7.5, if you know what I mean, is going to come out to be about 60% sort of increase in all basic attack if all of his clones are taken out, which is nice. And that can stack upon other stats and stuff that he has up here. And then along with that, when they get hit, he's going to recover his HP by 15% for 10 seconds. That's pretty awesome, guys. It's very unique to him, especially with the whole clone thing. So I really like that they did that, and I hope it looks as good as it looks on paper. Then Sylvie gets her tier 3 skill. You can see it down here. She has multiple of her clones, and then she just kind of goes whammy on the opponent and then hits them with the blade strike right at the end. It's going to be called Magic Mist. It's going to be applying to enemies, going to be bleed, stun, and mind control. And then applying to yourself is going to be ignore target dodge, invincible, increase all basic attack, and energy damage there. Then last but not least, we have both of their artifacts here. Loki is going to be having an increased basic damage, by 0.2% per 1% of crit rate, regardless of guaranteed crit rate, an additional 0.8% of total instinct on a 15-second cooldown. This is basically Cable's artifact and is really good for increasing his damage. It's going to be great for him in ABX and ABL. Again, I'm so excited to see what he can do. Then Sylvie gets an interesting one. She gets ignore non-boss enemy damage decreased by 25%, an additional 0.3% of total instinct up to 200%. that is actually a PvP artifact. So I'm thinking maybe in the future they're planning on giving her a uniform and trying to make her full PvP by then, and giving her a tier 4 whenever we see her again. Seems like she's just being put into the game and set up for the future, kind of like Omega Red and Man Thing, all these other characters that aren't meta now, but you can see that they have potential and that, you know, they may be in the meta one day. They just need a uniform and a tier 4 upgrade eventually. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here with Sylvie as well. Her artifact is called Tenacious Goddess, and Loki's is called Multiverse Trickster, which is another little hint there at the God of Stories sort of thing. Then we have some game error fixes, Nick Fury, Legendary Battle, Dialogue, MODOK HP, Gauge, and Story, and that's pretty much it. So then last but not least, what I want to show you is the actual quest where you can actually get, what's her name, Sylvie. There's a lot of Black Friday stuff going on. We're going to talk about all of it in a separate video. We obviously have a lot to cover with it because there's tons. Did I just click the same one? Yep, I did. Because there's tons of stuff going on right now and things that you need to know about so you spend your crystals wisely. Because like I said, there is so much going on that you want to make sure that you spend your crystals the best way possible, basically. And so here it is. There will be an event quest that starts tomorrow. So at the Wednesday sort of, what do you call it? The Wednesday reset. There you go. So not tonight and not today's reset. Tomorrow's reset. There'll be an event where you can basically get tokens for participating in Timeline Battle using 3 million gold, clear a dimension mission 60 times, using 600 energy, and clearing one boss one time daily. And in total, you can get about 300 tokens, meaning you can get a tier 3 selector. And the following characters will be on this list, and I'll make sure to go ahead and make a tier list on which characters are going to be the best to get. They have added some people like Ghost Rider, which is interesting. And then you can get, with the other 50 tokens, you can get one of Sylvie's biometrics for 5 times. So obviously it takes 5 biometrics to get a character, so you basically just be unlocking her there, which I think is a good idea, because if you get a tier 2 advancement ticket, you can use it later on her. In case she does get a uniform, just like the sort of future investment we made on Man Thing, and I'm sure a lot of you did on Omega Red. Sort of same thing here. You just want to get your hands on Sylvie just in case. You can also buy all the tier 4 materials and then have enough for Sylvie if you don't want the tier 3 selector. So it's completely up to you, but I'll make sure to make a video on that as well. So yeah, that's basically it for the patch details here, guys. Just to sort of recap what we're going to be doing next, we're going to be covering all of Loki's stuff. We're going to make a video on showing you how to unlock Sylvie and sort of build her up to tier 2, because that's probably as far as we're going to go with her. We may go further. We'll see. We're going to have a video on the best selections for the Transcendent Selector that you probably have in your inbox right now. It has 6 more days, so I'm going to try to do that as fast as possible. The uniform tier list as well, which best uniforms to get. From this sale with 50% off. Again, that has like 6 days, so I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and make that a priority as well. And then the tier 3 selector guide list as well. And then we'll have one other separate video covering everything else, basically, that's Black Friday involved. So yeah, lots of videos more to come. Lots more to talk about, so stay locked in. I have no idea what you guys are posting there. Stay locked in on the channel, guys. We'll be back very shortly. It's going to be back-to-back posts tomorrow. But for today, that'll do it. We'll see you guys all in tomorrow's videos. Stay tuned, guys, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.